This is Truth Be Told.
That not only are there reptilians here,
new evidence of UFO fleets.
We were close to nuclear war.
To help you transform so that you can live your highest truth.
We're not being told just because we're not ready for it.
Radio stations of frequency, vibrational.
I was a homicide detective with LAPD.
UFOs increase. Visitations.
Hello, this is Andrea Cosgrove of Truth Be Told. Today, I'd like to share with you a true crime case that has remained unsolved for 11 years. Since 2011, the family's friends, loved ones, and the French government have been working endlessly to solve this case. Netflix's Unsolved Mysteries even produced an episode on this case, so you might be familiar with it. It started with Count Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès, the head of the nuclear family. The Dupont de Ligonnès family were an old aristocratic family originally from Annonay in the Vivarais region in southeastern France. Xavier married his wife Agnès in 1992. They had 4 children, Arthur, Thomas, Anne, and Benoit. Though Arthur was not his biological son, Xavier took care of Arthur as his own. They were a normal family who enjoyed normal things like church, family dinners, birthdays, and academics. They lived in a modest home in the western suburbs of Nantes. Agnès was described as being very religious and regularly attended Mass with her children. Parishioners described her as being kind but strict with the children. In 2004, Agnès described the difficulties she and her husband faced and stated he had commented to her that a group death as a family would not be a catastrophe. She was 48 years old at the time of her death. Arthur was studying for a technical diploma in IT in Saint-Laurent-sur-Sèvre in the Vendée department. He was also employed as a waiter at a pizzeria in Nantes. He was 20 years old at the time of his death. The second son, Thomas, earned a baccalaureate in literature when he was 17. He was passionate about music and studied it at the Catholic University of the West in Angers. He was described as an ordinary boy who was often accompanied by his family to drop him off and pick him up, while several of his classmates remember him as very discreet. He was 18 years old at the time of his death. The daughter, Anne, was in the 11th grade following an academic curriculum in science. She was a model and was often featured in mail-order catalogs. Her friends became concerned when she was regularly offline and did not answer calls. Anne was 16 years old at the time of her death. The third son and final child, Benoit, was an altar boy at the Saint-Fély church in Nantes. Like his older brother, Thomas, he was very passionate about music and wanted to attend school for it as well. He was 13 years old at the time of his death. In early April 2011, 5 of the family members disappeared. Friends, family, neighbors, and co-workers noticed their disappearance and became increasingly worried about them. Xavier had written long, rambling letters explaining their disappearances and told family members not to worry. On April 21, 2011, the bodies of the family members except Xavier were found in the family garden. The family's 2 Labrador dogs had been killed and buried as well. Each body was found with a religious item, as if they were given a religious burial. Whoever murdered and buried their bodies was obviously close to them, or else he or she would not have tried to pay their respects. Xavier became the main suspect in the family's murders. On April 22nd, according to the autopsies, the family members were drugged and then shot to death with a .22 long rifle as they slept. Xavier had a weapon of this caliber which he inherited from his father 3 weeks before the murders. The same day, an international arrest warrant was issued to locate Xavier Dupont de Ligonnès in order to obtain witness testimony with regard to the murders. In the weeks leading up to the killings, Xavier reportedly learned how to use the gun and purchased cement and quicklime, later found on top of the bodies. He wrote a note to family and friends saying he and the family were witness protection with the Drug Enforcement Administration in the U.S. Then he disappeared on April 15th. After the tragedy became national news, the family's money troubles came to light as well as reports of marital tension between Xavier and Agnès. Although many people believed he committed the murders, his family members disagreed due to the fact that they were not allowed to confirm the identities of the bodies found. In 2015, Xavier sent a photo with a note on the back to a journalist. The note read, "Je suis encore vivant," which means I'm still alive. The investigation has been running since 2011 and has led to more than 800 tips, as well as searches for Xavier that have led to dead ends. Unfortunately, this case remains unsolved. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. This is Andrea Cosgrove, and this has been another episode of Truth Be Told.